Welcome back.
Tea party time.
Tea party time.
Hype.
I just walked out, grabbed a bit of a snack after finishing the end of episode 5.
Emotionally,
6,
yeah.
And
both, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of paired, aren't they?
They really are.
In a lot of ways.
But we walked out and I was like, cool, so what are we doing for the recap? And I'm like, fuck.
2 entire tea parties. I know, like, that kind of scene normally reserved for the tea party.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember what this tea party is. So.
Neither do I.
I know. it's shocking how that works. I don't know, I can only think of one of the 2 scenes, so I'm excited to see what the other tea party is.
Let's go. Hold on.
We need to prepare.
We've had a whole bit of food between
it's been an entire 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we just need to double check.
Oh, here. So finally they asked, what do you do for a living? I go, don't worry
What do you do
about
for a
it.
living?
What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a
What do
living?
you do for a living? What do you do for a
What do
living?
you do for a living? Then
Let the pair exchange their rings. Perfect. Beardo took Battler's hand and put a ring with the seal of the one-winged eagle onto his finger.
What an agonizingly slow start. Are you sure?
You already are the territory lord, so this ring belongs to you, Battler-san.
You're really sure? Let's rate the world you created in the tale.
Yes, I created this tale because I wish to be with you. That means the purpose of this world has been fulfilled. So, from now on, I want you to write it. The continuing tale of you and me.
But
2 more episodes. I was doing it like that too awkward for you. I'm just pushing the tiresome task of Territory Lord onto you anyway. It's much easier being the wife, for you only have to brag. I just need to play around and wait for you to write a new tale. And for each new tale you write, I'll play any part you need. Be it an evil witch or a rival, a lover or a wife. Daw.
my tales are pretty intense. I'll be busy from dawn until dusk.
Indeed, bring it on. Beata's hand relinquished the ring of the Territory Lord. From Battler, she received a silver ring with a crest that could only be worn by the wife of the Territory Lord.
R.I.P. Kinzo's wife.
They exchanged their rings and their wedding was complete. Then the pair turned around, faced the packed crowd of guests, and raised their rings high. A thunderous applause rang out for them.
As a memorial to this night's events, the Great Territory Lord will now recognize the accomplishments of certain people.
Let those called come forward! At Bella's nod, Beata read the name of the first guest to be recognized. Cannon, come forward.
Cannon-kun.
A girl code pushed her way through the crowd, took off her mask, and yelled. A cloud of gold butterflies gathered before Battler and Beato, took the form of Cannon, nearly in front of these 2 nobles. Cannon had already died and vanished. However, all of the dead revived in the Golden Land. Cannon, right here. When my husband was locked up and in danger, you rescued him and displayed your capability for self-sacrifice by choosing to remain in that eternal prison in his place. Such devotion is deserving of an award. Therefore, we'll allow for your resurrection as well as your continued service. Yes, ma'am. I am honored and delighted.
Cannon-kun, Yoshia-kun. Yoshia-kun, no.
Oh. Jessica raced forward and landed sobbing on Cannon's chest. Cannon patted her head gently and held her.
You'll be serving as furniture. You'll be serving as a human. You understand what that means?
Yes. After glancing at Jessica's sobbing, he looked at Bella again and nodded forcefully. Now for the next pair. Oshumia George and Shannon, come forward.
Yes.
Yes. George and Shannon were the next to be called. Perhaps they had already rated themselves. They walked forward boldly and kneeled. Oshumia George, right here.
Shannon, right here.
You two withstood Zappa and Fervor's trials until the very end. Your great achievements in affection, determination, and nobility were exemplary and deserving of an award. Therefore, your marriage certificate has been issued with the Territory Lord's signature. We are honored and
delighted.
delighted. No one will be allowed to object to the certificate. Let the families of those recognized bless their union with all their hearts.
And so, now there's nothing stopping these two, let's throw all the rice at them and celebrate. Hey, congrats, you two.
When the territory lord clapped his hands in celebration, it spread throughout the entire cathedral. Then, a group of goats in the front line of the crowd took their masks off one by one.
Listen up, okay? I'll never forgive you if you make too much salty miso soup. And George is getting a little overweight, so go easy on the sugar.
George! When a man gets married, he's got to treasure his wife even more than his parents. No matter what your mother says, you make sure you put Chan-and-Chan. Yes, of course.
George, son. Anyway, George needs to be asleep by 7 o'clock. I'll never forgive you if you let him stay up late. By 7 o'clock!
That's pretty early.
And don't forget that washing his back and cleaning his ears are also a wife's responsibilities.
Oh my god. Is that true? What have I done?
A wife's job can vary depending on the family.
Rudolph, son, have you been treasuring your wife? Of course. Why would you doubt that?
Find happiness, you two. Marriage isn't a goal. It's just the starting line, okay?
Ooh! Congratulations, congratulations! Oh, congratulations! We mustn't lose either.
You're in the way we're losing, damn it!
You said that very forcefully. All of the Ishimi family, all of the servants, and all of the spirits and demons in attendance celebrated the honorees with an even greater applause. And so, the curtain closes on the tale woven by the Golden Witch.
I don't like where this line is going because it started being windy.
That's fine. Perhaps we should finish this tale with the epitaph. The following is the passage of the Golden Land from the epitaph of the Golden Witch. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch, Beatrice.
Okay. Nothing bad will happen, I'm sure.
Sure, fine.
We're only 5 minutes in.
Where are we gonna cut to?
I don't like this.
Nah, it's fine. See?
It's just Angie.
It's just Angie!
So this means Beto was satisfied and put to sleep.
That interpretation is probably appropriate.
And? Now the game's over, Oni-chan will be released, right? What will he do next?
Who knows? The book of this fragment tells no more of the story.
So in the end, we don't even get to see what comes next for him. Nothing comes next for him. In the end, Oni-chan and the others never came back. They reached the Golden Land and had a great time there together. Even if the tale tells us that, the truth is that everyone died in that huge accident. Still, we've learned a lot of very interesting things. Seems that island really was a crazy island of illusions.
Oh, Angie. Indeed. And your reading was truly wonderful. Oh, thanks. Thanks, brother.
I feel worn out like watching a 6-hour movie all at once. Feel your pain, Angie.
It was longer than that.
I feel your pain. I'm tired.
Assure me, Angie, you truly have worked hard. Your reading has soothed my boredom. I, Featherin, am more grateful to you than I have been for so many years that I cannot remember.
If you're grateful, why can't I have some kind of award too?
What would be good? Give me some time. I will think. Featherin sat down in her rocking chair and rocked it, apparently trying to think of something. Assure me, Angie, you really have worked hard. You have done well to keep reading for me until the very end. With this, the responsibilities of my Miko are lifted. You may return to your original world and be reunited with the fate you have been given.
Sheesh. Feels like this is one hell of a side trip.
Do not pout. I am thinking of a reward now. Yes, that's something I haven't done much, or rather at all, for quite some time. I imagine the ink from the bottle is dried up by now.
What exciting adventures will Featherin write Angie on?
Even after the tale ended, Angie and Hachijo's debate over it continued for quite some time. It had been very serious and fiery.
Fiery.
Angie had acknowledged that this tale was no crazy literary work, but a new message bottle, which had drifted here once more from the retrenchment of 12 years previous, to tell her of one truth. And it seemed as though she had found her own interpretation of the truth she thought the tale was trying to tell. Of course, there was only one truth, and it did not mean an end to her journey. However, maybe it can be viewed this way. It wasn't sufficient to fill the 12-year gap in her heart. However, at that moment, just enjoying the feeling alone with the bit of coffee Joe had made was enough.
Thank you for reading until the end, and thank you for your thoughts and opinions. I'm sure the very first Endless Witch is happy.
Oh, so you can bring yourself to say stuff like that. If you just talk like that from the beginning, you'd have tons more fans.
I am merely praising the wonderful reader that you most certainly are. I just wanted to say that spending the time I have left in my life writing for you alone was much more productive than writing for those pigs who do not talk and cannot think would have been. Ha ha ha!
It's just the kind of thing you'd be better off not saying. Well, I'll take it as a compliment. Okay. I get the feeling that I've spent a really, really long time here. Feels as though I've spent a major fraction of my life here. It should feel uncomfortable sitting here on a sofa in someone else's house. For some strange reason, it feels as familiar as my own home. However, the clock says it's only been about 2 or 3 hours since I met her. My sense of time feels very strange.
Your friend seems to be taking his time.
Must be a long phone call. It's creepy for a guy to talk that long on the phone. Said he was going to make a scheduled report to Hankanogi-san, didn't he? Even though he was told that he could use the phone here, he declined and went to look for a public phone somewhere. Something about how he didn't want to risk being bugged. He's a moron, so let him do what he wants. His nearest public phone far.
If you go out onto the street, there's a store in the corner a short ways down.
And I'll be on my way. You can use this to pay for food or whatever.
If I let you keep that money, will you come again, read my next manuscript, and tell me your opinions?
You're willing to pay rolls of money to get an uncute girl like me to read your manuscript?
Yes. No. You really were a good, clear-thinking reader. We create these tales and throw them out into the world in search of people like you.
You praise me too much. You just take books a little too seriously.
As thanks for the considerable time you have given to me, I will someday write your tale.
Am I going to appear in one of your forgeries again? I hope you kill me in a slightly better way this time.
Do you like miracles?
I mean like Deus Ex Machina plot development. Used to hate them, but recently I've become a big fan. Still, I've become a bit of a picky eater, and simply falling from a skyscraper and ending up unharmed doesn't qualify as a miracle to me anymore.
Then perhaps one day I will write a tale that you will consider a miracle.
Beautiful.
Really sorry for barging in all of a sudden and saying all kinds of mean things.
No, it was a worthwhile conversation. I wonder if my head editor will set up another meeting between the two of us.
Sure, if there's another chance for one. See you again. Have a nice day.
Yes, it may happen again sometime. I pray that you find your truth.
Thank you.
If you ever do reach a truth of your own, please try making that a tale as well someday.
You want me to become one of you witches? I wonder. I'm bad at writing. Good reader isn't necessarily a good writer, you know?
Ah, quite true. I myself can never read anything written by someone else.
Sheesh. Then I'm off.
After this, I will probably never see you again, but I pray I'll be fortunate enough to meet another you someday, somewhere.
Can I ask one last question?
Go ahead.
That feather and witch who appeared within the tale. That's you, right?
It may be presumptuous to say it, but that was my intention.
This might be a strange question, but, are you feathering? Or is feathering you?
Well now, what might you be talking about?
The mysterious woman was mysterious to the last, and so the day of which I had no memories ended.
Is that in bold?
Yeah,
it is in
it
bold.
is.
Okay.
And on the following day I'd take a boat to Nijima.
Oh, God.
I'll probably never meet her again. However, that just means I won't meet her. So some other me might meet her somewhere down the road. Just as I have reached several truths, they must also want to reach the truth. So long, Featherin. If you ever write a decent story, please call me again. If I'm free, I might drop by. Oh. What's going on here?
No problem. It's the most luxurious escort job I've ever had yet. I'd almost like to invite you along, sir.
What was the voice for Okanogi? Oh my
so
god!
long.
It's been so long! I'll take a pass on that.
You know how old I am. I'm done running around all over the place.
I'll have to put that up to the referees. Was it the same voice?
Probably not at all. The person on the other end of the line was Okanogi. Okanogi was also a man who tended to move from place to place, so it hadn't been easy to catch him even on the phone.
Now, trip's been pretty cool, and right now, there's no need to turn around. Sumidera Kasumi is searching for you like mad. According to our informant, she's already gotten a ride into Rokkenjima. You'll bump into her there. So, just as planned. It'll likely just be 5 or 6 people at most, and they'll probably be armed with nothing more than handguns. They're no match for you. Feel free to run wild, but make sure you kill them. You'll be able to acquire one of your favorite toys. Of course. I'm surprised you managed to arrange for it in this country.
Behind Amakusa was the rental car that they'd borrowed under a false name, inside of which was now a black golf bag. The Sumidera head family has already given the okay, but... You right there?
Oh, that's cruel. That's quite something.
I know. Make sure you get out of Japan as soon as you're done. Don't forget to buy your cup ramen by the box of Narita before your flight out.
I'll take care this time. It's an easy job.
Also, you do understand about that, right?
That? Well, I'm not sure what you mean.
Playing dumb, are we? Well, that's okay. Despite how you talk, you've never betrayed my expectations in the past. If you're clever about it, you won't even have to get your hands dirty. There should be plenty of ways to handle it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I realize that Angie-chan is a child to be pitied. If only she could have stayed true to that and acted the part of a secluded young lady. When we decided to join forces after Ava's son's death, we reached an agreement. This little portable shrine of ours is important, but it is also a liability. This is for the sake of world peace as well, okay?
Oofed.
Watch and see how it goes. I hope the Sumidera black suits know how to shoot a gun right.
What is it, sir?
Don't tell me that after a few days on the run, you and Angie-chan have already hooked up.
Nah. Me and that bright little girl, please.
Well, it's not like I care. It just means you finally managed to break free enough that you can take parcels of girls, right? Half the world is made up of women. You never last if just 1 or 2 of them make you freeze up.
Oh, speak of the devil. She's here. Guess that's all for today. I'll contact you after I reach our lodgings on Nijima. Later.
Angie was walking down the street. Why'd she have to do that?
When I told her to wait for me to come back. If only she wasn't like this, she might have lived a long life.
Brutal.
It's fucked up.
It's a pretty long call. So tired of waiting that I left.
Sorry about that. How was it for you, lady? Did you learn anything interesting?
It was interesting. I've harvested all I need.
Sounds cool.
After Amakusa opened the passenger's side door, Angie got in the car. Amakusa quickly went around to the driver's seat.
Then let's head to the harbor. According to the old man, the Sumidera family has set up a net.
If we do get caught, then that's the measure of my luck. If we don't, then Rokkenjima is waiting for me. Let's leave it all to luck.
Luck, is it?
When you can't decide what to do, or when it doesn't matter either way, it's not so bad to entrust your fate to a coin toss.
Then I guess I'll try leaving it to luck too. I gotta admit, I'm a fan of that kind of thing.
Great, my bodyguard just said he's gonna leave everything to luck. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I had to leave that phone call, so I totally missed the clincher. What happened after I left? Let's hear it.
No, I'm not telling.
That's a shame.
The car dashed through the hilly town. That car would return to Hachicho's house for all eternity. However, Angie didn't get sentimental about it. For now, she just wanted to silently consider the new message bottle that the current Endless Witch, Hachicho Toya, had given her. In the rearview mirror, The town where a witch lived faded off into the distance. However, the scene wasn't reflected in Angie's eyes. First tea party.
That's different to how I was expecting it to go.
Yeah,
But I guess we still have the other tea party.
it's true. What's that achievement?
Reflection. Let's just go straight into it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Nothing like the...
It's really interesting
EB3 tea
considering
party.
trying to wrap what actually happened to Angie in the quote-unquote real world in 1998.
Absolutely.
Because, clearly the obvious answer that they're trying to give us there is that it was all a stitch-up at the end of episode 4, and that Amakusa was the one that came in and killed them all.
Yep.
And they're also kind of leaving it open, did he actually let them kill her, or did he save her?
Yep.
I think clearly the implication is that, that is meant to be a remaining question.
Yep.
Because we
even this that entire thing with Angie, meeting Feather or Hachijo and, reading the draft of the episode,
yeah, we
she
don't even
says,
know if that happened.
The line that you twigged on was, this is the day that I have no memories of.
Well, it was also way back at the start when she said my memories of the future are hazy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot of weird, funky lines that Angie says that indicate that there's something weird going on.
I still kind of like the idea that it's almost written as a cautionary tale such that Angie would be able to read it rather than that Angie actually participated in it.
Maybe. Lambda, where are you? Just having to say that felt like admitting defeat, and I didn't like it. Why is it that she's always so obnoxious and clean when I don't need her, and then won't answer when I call her name? Where am I? Annoyed by the completely predictable ending.
Yep, okay, I'm on board.
I'd left the cathedral. I'd planned on finding some terrace with a cool night's breeze to kill time on until the end of that farcical reception. It's true that I tried to find somewhere desolate so that I wouldn't have to look at people, but this is a bit ridiculous. I, the great Burn Castle, am lost. A miracle like that certainly wouldn't happen. Yes, miracles don't exist in this world. To create a miracle, you need an amount of time that can never be reached, a period that's no different from infinity. So, when something that appears to be a miracle happens in a shorter span of time than that, it is not a miracle, but the product of someone's design. In other words, the reason I'm walking down this corridor is because someone's design has forced me here. Who would have pulled such a complicated prank on me? It looks like you're quite the shy one, calling me out to a desolate place like this. Then, from the other end of the dark corridor, I heard a sound. Patter, 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 patter. It sounded as though some small animal, like a dog or a cat, was walking at a quick pace. No miracle could cause a dog or cat to be in a place like this. Such a miracle would not be allowed. Since it isn't a miracle, that means I'm being guided in that direction. Very well. This might be some new theme to keep me entertained. If this is some new joke of Lambda's, I'll cover her whole body with honey using my tongue as a reward. And then, I'll stick parasol chocolates into her eyes and tell her to never do it again. In the direction the noise had come from, it was not only dim, but shrouded in complete darkness. However, I could sense something in that darkness. There were two emerald green glints, probably cat eyes, the eyes of a black cat that peered through the darkness. Are you the one who called me here? Or are you just the messenger? Shit's getting weird. When I looked at my feet, I saw red cat footprints leading towards those cat eyes. The marks were unsettling, as though the cat had run through a pool of blood. When my eyes adjusted to the darkness, then even with a lack of light, I was vaguely able to make out those red footprints. They weren't actually glowing or anything, but they served perfectly well as a signpost leading me onwards. Patter, 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 patter. As though it was telling me to follow, the cat turned around and dashed off into the darkness. What is it? Something feels very strange. It's a feeling I haven't felt since I began calling myself the cruelest witch in the world. I can't quite remember what this feeling is. Still, For one as tired of boredom as me, it's surely more fun this way. I followed the bloody footprints of the cat, which would sometimes stop and look back at me, and walked on and on through the dark corridor. Forward, turn, head down what appeared to be stairs from time to time, and then, though I couldn't really tell because of the darkness, it went in through the crack of a door. Here? I pushed the door open slowly, but it was dark on the inside, just like the corridor. However, the air and the slight change in the echoes made by the footsteps told me that this was a room, not a corridor. The sounds of the cat's footsteps were gone. However, the bloody footprints remained. On the other side is some sort of wooden screen, under what looked like a small spotlight.
Someone really had a tough job cropping that.
There was that same black cat gulping down some blood-stained pet food. I see. So, this is its reward for bringing me here. Cat, sorry to bother you during your meal, but I'd like you to summon your master. That is, unless you're actually the one who summoned me. Talking to it didn't cause it to turn around. Well, I guess it is an animal eating its food. If I kick it away, it'll probably run off to its owner. When I did kick the cat, it sailed away like a stuffed animal, hit the wall, and fell to the ground. Then it vanished, melting into the darkness. What's with this cat? Is it just an illusion? When I looked at its food plate, it was piled up with what appeared to be blood-drenched raw meat. It was as though someone had torn apart living flesh on the spot and piled it up on there. Come on, what's with this creepy reception?
That was a mean thing to do, kicking it.
Predictable.
Yeah. The instant I heard that voice, the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Then, the surrounding area finally brightened. However, Ben Castle had already guessed where this was before it grew bright. What up?
I told you if there was gonna be a cat somewhere, I was gonna be in fucking Hachijo's house.
That was you, was it not? That cat.
The best part about that is that there's no verb. It's that cat was you.
A lot of fun stuff going on here.
A cat who has learned how to eat meat, and that it can sometimes choose its own path. It has been a long time.
It's a path I might never have had to know about if you hadn't told me. You're the monster who taught me the taste of flesh. So, you've come back to life, feathering our Aurora.
So, I take it that this is something to do with Higurashi then. I asked you a while back about Hachijo, or feathering being something to do with Higurashi.
No comments.
I know.
Augustus Aurora, you never learn, no matter how often I tell you that. Very well. Even that brings back fond memories.
I need to look something up.
What is this?
Hold on.
What is it relation to? Why are you leaving me with the audience? Hello, audience. How are you?
Give me a second.
You have 30 seconds just with me. It's pretty intimate, I would say. Bringing back the fond
there we go.
memories.
That's right.
No, don't come back. I'm having a moment with the audience.
No, we're good.
No. You've ripped away my one love. The audience.
Ben.
What are you looking for?
You know what I just realized, Ben?
What?
I just realized something.
What?
You know Virgil, that guy that's come up a few times in the story?
A couple times,
and
yeah.
who's appeared a few times, in terms of the references to Dante's Inferno.
Yeah?
You know what Virgil's famous for, Ben?
Oh, what? Do tell.
It's a little work called the Aeneid, Ben.
Ah, yes.
And many historians and fucking classicists claim it to be the greatest work of propaganda ever done by one Roman emperor, Augustus.
Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering where you're going with this, but I can have some guesses.
Like, I don't really know where to go with it because it was literally just like, oh yeah, and what I went up to go check is fucking look at a copy of the Aeneid on my shelf over there.
But, like, it's really interesting, the idea that, like, all of the allusions to, you know, Inferno and, Virgil and Vigilia as a character, and also, I guess, by extension, Erica by part of being what Vigilius was originally supposed to be or whatever.
Yep.
It's interesting to think that by that connection, you could maybe suggest that Featherin was somehow, like, the benefactor or reason for all of those existing. And going back to the whole theory of, like, authorship and who is the author, it's interesting to consider that maybe, like, those things exist in the tale because of Featherin. And considering that we know that Featherin supposedly wrote episodes 3 onward when Vigilia first appears, it's almost like whoever this character really is was the benefactor that led those aspects of the story to coming into existence.
Maybe. Yeah. I like that theory. It's a good one. I won't even confirm or deny any of this.
I don't even think it's something that probably will be confirmed. It seems like the kind of stretch that you're meant to, like, pick apart.
Yep.
Because otherwise it probably would have been foreshadowed a bit more heavily.
I mean, Aurora's name has to be referenced to something in some way.
Yeah, I don't know what Aurora or Featherin necessarily are.
It needs to be, like, inspired by something, I suppose. It's probably the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's, like, you know, an integral part of the mystery, or if it's just, like, because you thought, oh yeah, that's a nice reference theme.
Yeah, like, Burncastle and Lambda Delta are both names that I feel like I recognize from something, but I don't know what.
I can tell you that Lambda Delta's name, Lambda and Delta, is the Greek letters for 3 and 4.
Yeah, I know. I know that, but, like, there's something familiar about that, and I feel like there's probably a reference there that I may be missing.
Maybe.
Anyhow.
I believe I said this line. I can say it again if you like.
Just go from very well, I guess.
Yeah.
Very well. Even that brings back fond memories. I have heard the rumors. It seems you have taken the name Burncastle, Witch of Miracles, and have been playing a far from praiseworthy fragment game.
I'm just imitating you, though I could hardly match up to your level. If the rumors you've heard about me are bad, that applies 100-fold to you. Burncastle sat unreservedly in an antique chair, as though she was already familiar with the place.
What are you afraid of? I am merely celebrating my reunion with my longest-serving Miko so far. Did you really find my messenger cat so displeasing?
Burncastle's manner seemed completely relaxed.
I like the idea that Toya just fucking read all of her stories to the cat until it ran off and never came back.
Yeah, totally. The cat ran away, no, my early audience. However, Featherin admonished her, telling her not to be afraid. And, judging by the expression that had risen to Burn's face, Featherin had been right on the mark. Did you really have to make such blunt insinuations against me? A cat leaving behind bloody footprints and stuffing its face with bloodstained meat?
Have no fear. Look closely. Do you see any cat stuffing its face with meat? I just gave it a plate of biscuits as a reward for going to get you.
Yes, biscuits.
Those are not biscuits.
Yeah, did they run out of budget for the... Anyway, it was as though soot covering the plate at her feet was blown away, even though there was no wind. There lay an adorable and perfectly normal cat dish, with a pile of pumpkins on top of it. Burncastle didn't even hide her displeased grimace. Featherin shrugged and muttered,
"You haven't changed, child of man,"
as she rocked her rocking chair.
Child of man.
I see you're just as unpleasant as ever. But I'm happy now. Imitating you really has been far from boring.
Scold me as you please. It is the parting gift I gave you when we last met.
You liked rude Mikos because they get you entertained, right? Ridiculous. If talking will only please you, I'll shut up. So, what do you want with me?
It seems Beatrice's game has ended with Beth's victory.
But I still have 2 more books to sell.
I observed it. It was quite entertaining.
I'm sure you liked seeing me fail miserably.
Nonsense, it was a splendid performance. I'm sure Beatrice was very grateful to you.
And, if you want me to read the fragments of Bear's game aloud for you, I refuse. I'm not your Miko anymore.
I have observed all of Beatrice's games. I also watched Lambda Delta's game and Batman's game with great interest. I believe I have formed an answer for all the riddles in my own way. The culprits, the motive, the individual tricks. I am not yet clear about the very last part of the last riddle, but I have enough of a theory that if I actually went to Rakenja and investigated, I should be able to resolve that part as well.
And?
Of course, since there is no single truth, my theory is probably one of many possibilities. However, that is only a question of possibilities, a trivial problem.
What are you up to? Do you want to debate Beta's game with me?
Wrong! What I want is to look at the answers, child of man.
Those words of Featheron's made Burn Castle straighten up. Her old master did not fail to notice that small reaction.
So far, you have spiced up this tale as an actor. In doing that, you have probably come to know many truths. However, even you are unaware of the truth behind several riddles that Beta's cleverly kept hidden, correct?
I see. You want to use me to chew apart and string out the guts of something again.
After watching a play, reading the pamphlets, and learning what goes on behind the scenes is similar to, as you would say it, enjoying some black tea after a meal. That enjoyment cannot be left undone.
You like to play with them and love them while they're alive and then eat their flesh when they die. So cats are doubly useful to you. Just die, monster.
Ha! I want to look at the answers. I'm sure you want to know them. Think of it as a barrel for Bear's corpse where you are in charge of the service. What do you say to that, child of man?
Now you're starting to speak my language. When Featheron snapped her fingers, a thin spotlight appeared on the table, which was covered with cluttered books. There lay a folded version of the game board from Beato's game. The Witch of Theatre going spun her finger in a circle, and the game board opened up by itself, showing the black and white pieces lined up inside of it.
The game board and all the pieces are gathered here. The records for the previous games are all present as well.
With a rustling sound, the book flipped through all its pages of its own accord, front to back, shut itself, and flew to the side of the game board where it waited. Inside it, all of the movements of the pieces during previous games were recorded. I see. So you were short a player and a commentator.
We're also short of black tea. Similarly, with dried plums. Of course, I will find some.
Okay. If you add on some mustard rice cakes, then we have a deal.
The negotiations are concluded.
I have one condition.
Oh, and what is that?
I'm going to be the reader, okay? I have no love, so a few things might be interpreted in an odd way.
I don't like that.
However, the reader is free to read things in a manner and with an intonation of her choosing.
I only want to check the answers. I don't particularly care about the tale itself. I'm not deeply interested in what sort of tale you'll create. Ah, yes. Now I see what you're after.
Will you accept that condition?
Very well. I want to know the answer. You have your grudge to worry about. The negotiations are concluded.
When Featheron snapped her fingers once more, a large chair appeared as though beckoning Burn Castle to sit there. It was a throne, horribly mismatched with the furnishings of this room.
Oh!
Here it is.
That's nice. We haven't seen that before.
Wait, I've seen this before. This is...
I acknowledge it. You may sit. You are the game master.
Okay, then.
Burn is the game master. Are you sure? Are you really sure?
You can create whatever sort of tale you like to satisfy your grudge. I am not interested. However, I have one condition as well. Answer all of the questions I ask. Absolutely no keeping secrets, hiding, or dodging the issues.
Leave it to me. Tearing up guts and dragging them out is my specialty. After all, you trained me.
Let us make some black tea. We'll use our own hands, not magic. Let the master treat Umineko to some tea.
The old Beata told me the witches are the best ones to have black tea with.
It seems that rule doesn't apply to us.
At some point, that dish piled with biscuits had once again been covered with a mountain of torn apart meat and a splatter of red. No, not just meat, even the bowels. Black tea is best enjoyed
with your fellow monsters.
恋の書も強みあさってもどうにもこうにもねわかんねえことばかりある
Okay.
So Burns got control of the game board now.
This is
Weird?
this is interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird ending. Especially since it seems like we're at the end of the story in many ways.
Yeah.
And yet it's continuing with Burns game mastering. I don't know. I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
I don't know. I was kind of entertaining the idea that like Burncastle was almost like a parallel for the like when I was coming up with the authorship theory, I was kind of entertaining the idea that Burncastle was like a parallel for Battler's like crueler side in the theory that he survived. And it had almost seemed to me like that scene was Toya talking with whoever Battler has become now and being like, you want to tell me the truth, right? You want to fucking tell me the truth? I don't know. Like, it's not something that I hold much weight to, it was just something that I came up to and it kind of interestingly matches there. But, I don't know, that's odd to try and stitch up to anything in reality. Especially with how little we actually, like, know about the witches and also the fact that they have these, like, origin stories supposedly from...
Oh, shit.
From Higurashi. Take it away.
In that case, let's get the pieces ready. If we keep up the count, this will be game 7, right?
Indeed. I thought you were his number.
But not for Beato, right? Burncastle slowly picked up a black piece. It was the piece that represented Beatrice, who was sometimes a king, sometimes a queen, and could become a knight. However, that was only if it got promoted. Until then, it was only a trash piece, like a pawn. First comes the placing of the pieces. By this point, the witch's game has already begun. Burncastle took Beata's piece and raised it high. First move, placement. Beatrice on D8. The seagulls cried. There were no survivors.
Okay. Good to keep check. I was just...
I wasn't sure if they died or not. I mean, except for Ava.
I guess. Monsters is the achievement.
Monsters! Beautiful.
Incredible.
Oh my god. Alright, well I guess we'll see you guys in the recap.
The recap!
Recap.
I don't even know what I have to say at this point.
I know what I want to poke at.
Sure.
Stay tuned for more Erica talk.
Oh god.